We've got correspondents across the country. Sherine, Tadros is standing by in Cairo. Rawya Rageh is in the northern port city of Suez. Sherine, we start with you. Day 2 of voting. Is there still a sense that history is being made in Egypt?
Yes, absolutely. There's so much excitement here, even though I've got to say that this second day of voting hasn't quite seen the same voter turnout as day 1. There are no official figures yet, but that's the sense that you're getting, not just in Cairo, but across the country. As you said there, the Elections Commission has decided to extend voting hours, so across the country, polling stations will stay open now until 9 p.m. And as you were saying there, it really is a historic day, and not just because Egyptians feel like this for the first time they're going to be able to choose a president, but also because of the timing of all of this, the fact that this moment really marks the end of the very violent transition period and the end of unelected military rule, something that a lot of people have been asking and debating about. How much power will the military rulers actually relinquish to the new president, an elected president? And what does it actually mean to transfer power? Something that Hanna, my colleague, has been looking into.
On the face of it, the military has thrown its considerable resources behind this democratic process. In addition to securing polling booths throughout the country, soldiers also helped with logistical arrangements, transporting ballot papers, and even in some cases the judges who are monitoring remote election stations. Shortly before the elections began, the Supreme Council of Armed Forces, SCAF, issued a public statement in which it said it was the right and duty of every Egyptian to cast a vote, saying in this way the aims of the revolution could be realized. But there's a sense of deep public skepticism about the military's oft-made claim to be the guardian of this revolution. And while the army as a body may retain a degree of public trust and respect, the same may not apply to the generals who command it, the 20 men who sit on the Supreme Council. It was SCAF that ordered the arrest of military officers who joined demonstrators in Tahrir Square in April last year, all now serving 3-year sentences. Among them, Mohammed Wadiai, a young paratroop lieutenant who was not even in uniform at the time of his detention. His father, Tariq, was himself an army brigadier, but after a lifetime of following orders, his son's imprisonment has made him question the generals.
I know it is forbidden for any military officer to protest, but this was a revolution against 30 years of tyranny, theft, and the attempts to torch Egypt to the ground. All youth should revolt for their future.
And a mother so proud of her military men is so sad at what has happened to Mohammed.
He's my only son, and he made a huge difference in my life. I wish they would treat him with justice and mercy, because he has done nothing wrong.
And while the soldiers stand benevolently by, there are many mothers and fathers casting votes who question the aims and motives of those who command. Hanna, Al Jazeera, Cairo.
All right, Sherine, voting has been extended by an hour today. How long till Egyptians know who their next president is?
Well, voting, as you said, will be extended, but then right after that, about half an hour after the polls close, so about 9:30 local time, we're going to actually start seeing the counting. That counting will take place over the course of about 48 hours, and then early part of next week we expect the results. Now, bear in mind that each of the front-running candidates have their representatives actually present in the room while the votes are being counted. So I expect that we're actually going to start hearing leaks from the presidential candidates or from the parties they represent pretty soon, perhaps even as early as this evening.
Okay, Sherine, thank you very much. Sherine Tadros live in Cairo for us. Let's get the view now from the northern port city of Suez. Rawya Rageh is there for us. Rawya, what is the mood like there, and what are the people that you've been talking to telling you about their aspirations for the future Egypt?
Fully, Suez is one of those cities that carries a lot of historic weight, a lot of symbolic significance, years of resistance against multiple rounds of occupation from different countries, really dating all the way back to the years when the Suez Canal was being dug here along this province and city. But this has been a despondent population for decades. They feel that in all these years, they've never really collected the dividend of participating and contributing to the country politically and economically. rally. This kind of frustration explains perhaps why this country, the city rather, has been where the first fatalities in the revolution occurred, where multiple rounds of deadly protests has happened in the past 15 years. People here tell you how Hosni Mubarak, in 30 years of power, has never really visited Suez, has only come to the headquarters of the 3rd Military Command at the outskirts of the city. So tempered in this reality, people have been casting their vote here. This is a very politically savvy population. They have been telling me how, even though they very much are aware of the value of every vote being cast, they know that even though this opens a new chapter, that this chapter is likely going to be just as contentious, that the results could bring their own tensions, that there are significant challenges facing the new president, particularly here in Suez, in terms of security, in terms of economic hardships. People here are telling me, several people have been talking about the constitution that hasn't been written yet. So definitely Suez is one of those places where you could clearly see the sense of excitement tempered also by a very clear sense of frustration.
Rawya, thank you very much. Al Jazeera's Rawya Rageh in the northern port city of Suez. And there's plenty more on Egypt's presidential election on our website. Head over to aljazeera.com and click on the Egypt's Choice icon, which is on the top right-hand side of the page there. And you'll find analysis, features, and a live blog on the election as it happens.